Lisa Booth. There is Lisa. And former Bernie Sanders national staffer Teslin Figaro. Come on, Teslin. And joining them tonight, our first surprise guest, please welcome former campaign manager for President Trump, Corey Lewandowski. So there you are. I've been promising this lot surprises. So, you know, you're the first, Corey, so don't disappoint.
I won't.
Normally there's not this many people.
Exactly. It's so fun. So, Corey, you and I first met, I remember, it was in 2016. It was after Brexit, that campaign that I was involved in, during the 2016 campaign before President Trump won. And we both understood, we both really had that feeling that he was going to win because we knew that people had had enough of the failure of the elitist policies and so on. So thinking back to then, what is similar now compared to 2016, and what is different? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think what's similar is that you see how involved the people are when they go to these Trump rallies. They're, again, standing 8 hours in line to go see a man speak to them that they could do from their living room. And the reason that the pundits have missed this once again is that Donald Trump's agenda is to change Washington, D.C. He went down there, and it's amazing to me, Steve, because the pundits say, well, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. They never thought he was going to follow through on these things. So what you have now is you've got a president of 2 years of significant economic success. Homeland security, national security, and economic security are the three pillars of this presidency, and the American people are responding to that. When they wake up every day, there's more money in their 401k, they're safer as a country, and they are stronger with a stronger leader. We're no longer the country that gets mocked around the world. We're no longer the country that draws a line in the sand and gets walked over anymore. The American people have responded for strong leadership, and they know if they go backwards in this coming election and they put the Democrats in charge of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi has already said she will use the power of the subpoena to hold her position and keep the president from achieving his agenda. The American people they want to continue to move in the right direction. So I see a lot of similarities there. But the biggest thing that I see, the biggest similarity is how wrong the mainstream media is. Look, Nate Silver today said the Democrats could win or the Republicans could win. They're both just as likely. Well, of course that's not the case, but they were so wrong 2 years ago that when we woke up on election morning, you remember, the New York Times said there was a 1% chance Donald Trump is going to be elected president. Not like 2% or 3%. There's only two people in the race. He had a 1% chance. So the American people are smart. They vote, and they want to change. They now have that change, and I don't believe they're going to go back in the wrong direction. You're going to see an increase in the Senate for the Republicans, and you're going to see the Republicans hold the majority of the House by the slimmest of margins.
Yeah, you're so right. What do you think of that? Do you agree with that? Okay. Well, but Corey's right, isn't he? Because it's the result. That's one of the things. Since that campaign, you've now got actual results. And the results, when you just list them, I was really interested to see someone who's, it was Bret Stephens, I think, in the New York Times, who's a never-Trumper, actually can't stand the president, but he did a brilliant job of listing the achievements, not just the economy, but just as Corey was saying, ISIS defeated and so on, and the Supreme Court moving in the right direction. There's real results there. What's your take on the state of play, Lisa?
Well, absolutely. And I also think it's the promises kept, because when you're trying to drive out your base, particularly the coalition that helped elect you in 2016, actually having kept those promises to the voters, when you look at Supreme Court justices, repealing the individual mandate, tax reform law, deregulation, I think that helps because voters are going to trust you and realize that they want your agenda to continue and they want Republicans to maintain power in the House and the Senate. Now, if you look at the House, I think the path is there for Democrats to take back the House in the sense of they just need to pick up 23 seats. You at least have 45 House districts that are either likely Dem, lean Dem, or toss-up districts. So the path is there. 24 Republicans in districts that Hillary Clinton won. However, there's been recent good news. The generic ballot has tightened to the point where the House looks like a toss-up. You have a lot of these races are within the margin of error, and women, which a lot of people have been touting as the key to Democrats' victory. ABC, Washington Post, actually saw that in previous polls, they had, I think, a 20-point advantage with women. That's dropped to 14%. And then when you look at independent females, they had a 33-point edge, and now it's 2. Well, so that's something to look for as well.
And the thing that's really important, in the end, if you want it, you've got to go and vote for it. Let's just have a show of hands from the audience. So far, there's been so much talk about early voting. Who's voted already? Not that many. Okay, so who is planning to vote? That's what you need. If you want it, you've got to have to vote for it. It looks like our audience is planning to do that. Teslin, just give me your perspective on how you think the Democrats have fought this campaign and what you would say they've done right and what they've got wrong.
Well, it reminds me of 2016 all over again, except with the exception of Hillary Clinton. She's not involved technically, I guess. But it's all come down to emotions versus the economy. Either you're voting on economy or you're really voting on emotion. And Democrats have truly, I mean, you just look at ad after ad after ad. I come from the great state of Texas, so ad after ad is either too liberal or too radical. Democrats are pushing radical, not really focusing on the issues of Texas. Texas has created more jobs than any state since 2008 combined. So we do a really good job on job economics, regardless of the administration. Texas has stayed pretty strong with that. But you look at how well Governor Abbott is doing compared to Ted Cruz. So when people say, well, even though Ted Cruz is doing very well, it would take Democrats, I believe, if every Democrat in Texas voted, you still will be behind, 500,000 votes. But just to have the energy that you see with Beto, not because I believe he's just some great messiah, great candidate, but because maybe Ted Cruz, people aren't on his board as Ted Cruz as they should be. But look at what Governor Abbott has been able to do. So this has really just come down to emotion versus economy. Democrats are pushing emotion, not necessarily focus on the issues of the economy because that's where they'll see.
Well, we'll see who wins out. I just want to get a quick perspective.